Happy weekend. It's the first of the month. Oh man, new month and new scaries, right? Lots of scaries going on.
Surprise! It's
Yeah.
scary time live stream. Yay, I love scary time live stream.
Yeah, Kat and I just wanted to do a live stream because people are panicking again and thinking it's all over. But we actually really like this price action right now, don't we, Kat?
Yeah, because we're sick in the head, that's why.
Sick in the head. We like the punishment.
Yes, we do. The more you punish, the more I think it's going to be like euphoric later. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And maybe even more extended as well because nothing's going up exponentially right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's there's an account, Luca. I think he just responded back to my post saying like the butt coin, fart coin, they dropped 20% some. All these things are pretty healthy. I actually don't. I don't have any concerns.
The
I mean,
fart
like,
coin.
yeah, you got to let it rip, and then you got to repair the pants. Like, basically, you're sewing the pants off right now. That's what is happening. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not that concerned. But yeah, we'd love to share some charts, talk about things because people are scared, and that's what we do. We're like Ghostbusters, but I don't know what we bust anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to bust the myth of things are going to crash. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we can start here with Bitcoin, and I have the daily chart here, and I have the linear scale fib here at the 102.07 and the log scale fib here at the 103.611, and they don't want to close it above either, it seems like, for weekly candle closes for some reason. So we can just maybe focus on daily Ichimoku stuff for Bitcoin and see, okay, it's losing some momentum and it's still above the cloud and it can come back down to the 99,000, right? Retest it over and over again, making people panic. But essentially, it's at the top end of a range. It's been at this range for a while now, and it looks like it doesn't really want to break out, and they're just stalling it and stalling it and stalling it and just getting people ready to give up. So I think this still looks perfectly normal, perfectly healthy, and it has been in this range between the 91 and the 102 for basically November, right? November 19th. It's been in that range for a long time, and I don't think it really needs to come back down to this 90. But it's just weird to me that Bitcoin building a base above 100,000 is really scary to people now because that is really bullish, right? It's been in the low 90s for a while, but now it's moved up in a range here, and it looks like it's just consolidating at a higher level, which is not a scary thing, really. But people like to focus on the tariffs and the narratives and just want to freak out at those levels.
Yeah, freaking out is fun though. I mean, you gotta. Actually, I shouldn't say that, but well, whatever people fear are the worst is because when they see something, they think things are going to get worse again, and the narratives are certainly very well timed. Like, do you think tariffs is a black swan event? No, heck no. Like, it was premeditated. The people who are in the know already knew about it, and the people are already making moves like ahead of time already. So I don't. This is not anything that is should be surprising, and it's not something that's really going to throw off like technicals or anything. I really don't think it's like a black swan kind of thing. But yeah, we can keep talking here. You see that daily katana there? I still think that is probably going to work out.
Yeah, that daily katana right down here that
Yeah.
started to develop basically on the 17th.
Yeah, because if
Yeah.
you see what happened the last time it happened recently, if you scroll all the way to like the lower part of it, we have a daily katana there. And guess what happened? It's just kind of pushed up and then back tested the baseline there in like early November, and it just ripped after that. So
Yeah, and that was at the all important $69,000 level too when that
yeah,
happened, and then it just consolidated there for a bit, and now it's at the all important 100,000 level, 102, 103, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, even if it comes back down to 99, that is really really nice because this is still very very bullish. And what else is at 99,000, Cat? I know you know it's the weekly conversion line.
yeah,
99,260. Like, this is
totally.
beautiful. This is nothing to be scared about. This is something that is normal. They just do not want to close it over this 103,611 log scale fib for whatever reason. So yeah, just making people panic. So it could take a little bit more time. It could take another weeks or months or whatever before it really wants to explode. And by that time, maybe everybody will be shaken out of the market. Then people will want to launch it, the market makers will. So just a waiting game.
Yeah, y'all should. Yeah, Bitcoin's gonna tank. Don't buy. Just I'm trying to send the sentiment down so we can then. Why are we doing what we're doing? That doesn't make any sense. Like we're doing these live stream for free and telling people not panic. They should panic, so it can go up.
Yeah. Just panic, guys. It's not going to go up until you sell your crypto.
Seriously, panic. Yeah, I mean, I think there are a few. I did a few Gann here on log scale too. I don't know if you want to flip it over to me real quick. So I got the daily here. Let me try to show more of the chart and less of that stuff here. So I got the daily here. I did like 360, 200. You can see how it gives you some pretty decent market symmetry ever since the August 5th scare. And right now, it's been basically just been going down this arc here. It was able to bounce. It got rejected here on the top arc over here, and it's kind of right at support. You know, can it wick down underneath of it? Certainly, it can. I mean, I don't care if it does that. It's no big deal. And the other thing too, if I look at some of the other weekly Gann here, I drew one here from the cycle bottom 360 500. Gives you some really beautiful market symmetry here too. You can see how it's just been respecting one arc after another, and we are, just like what you have said, we are range bound on this arc over here, right? The other Gann, I drew like three different Ganns here on Gann, and this one over here is from the great crash of the COVID, back in March, and this is based on 720-500. And you can see how it also gave you some pretty decent market symmetry here, and we basically have just been rejected here so far at the arc, but guess what? We pushed through the arc here last week, and right now it's just kind of hanging out right there. We're still kind of range bound, but it's still finding support. I get another Gann over here for you, which is drawn a little bit differently again from the cycle bottom. This one I think is going to be 720 and 500. So still give you some pretty beautiful market symmetry here. I don't know if I'm making you dizzy yet, but yeah, the entire time last year when things were just doing nothing, it was just basically back testing the arc and back testing the horizontal here, and it just decided to push up here to the next level. And right now we're just inside the arc up here. So there are a lot of things that I'm looking at. No matter what numbers I put in for the Gann, it just looks like it's just stuck in range. So if you're stuck in a range, buy the bottom of the range maybe, and just be patient. That's kind of not financial advice, but that's kind of what I've been trying to do. So I'm going to flip it right back into you, Matt, and let's see if you have anything else to. Oh, one more thing.
Oh no!
Sorry. Oh no! One more thing. Whoa, 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 whoa. Anyway, if you just look at the overall theme here, so first of all, I think February in general is a pretty good month seasonality speaking. I don't know if it's going to pan out this month or not, but if it doesn't, panic, guys. Please sell so it can go up. But the whole thing about it is, if you're following, Bitcoin cycles, basically, I don't think this cycle is any different. Every single cycle, you're going to have that parabolic bull trend where it just keeps on going up, right? The whales have accumulated it pretty much every single cycle. They accumulated for like 2 years, right? And when they accumulate it for 2 years, they're going to find some kind of excuse, some kind of euphoric narrative. They're going to push price up to distribute to you. And then when things are down again, they're going to try to reaccumulate for years. And they're going to try to find some excuse with some global liquidity coming in. They're going to try to distribute it to you. And they're going to do this over and over again. They've accumulated here for a very long time. This whole area over here back in 2024 is reaccumulation because we are breaking out. We're making all-time highs. We are going up. So they've been accumulating and reaccumulating. So I just find it very hard to believe that the cycle ends right around here. Or actually, I find it pretty hard to believe that cycle ends just a little bit higher because we haven't even had that usual explosive move that really brings the Bollinger Band up and down, right? We haven't had that Bollinger Band expansion quite just yet. I still think that probability is going to happen because I don't think this time is any different. And I think those are dangerous words to say that this time is different. Anyway, I'm going to pass it right back to you.
All right, yeah, I have my 4-hour handy dandy chart that I share on my Patreon all the time here. And I wanted to just point out that it's stuck in a range. And the range has been the arcs right here. And this is actually a very bullish development because previously, back in December 17th, it was a resistance. And then it stayed in this channel right here from basically the blue level to the arcs for a long time. And now it's finally like going in between. Yes, it's getting some liquidity underneath and above all the time, but that's just normal. And it's going back down to the bottom of the range. So that's going to be around 100,690, or it could even wick below, get more liquidity underneath in the 99s, like I showed you earlier. So that is still possible, but eventually it's going to break this upper arc and it's going to go to the next level. And that's really like 115. So that's going to be the target. But I just wanted to show you, I actually made a post too when Trump was being inaugurated, and that was like right here. I'm like, you guys, this is just resistance. It doesn't matter. It's going to probably just stay in the range. And sure enough, it did wick, or was it like right here? It was the 20th, right? Or the 20th. Yeah. Like right around here, the 20th. Yeah. And it just stayed in the range and went all the way down to the support, back to resistance, back to support, back to resistance. So it's been doing this, making people super optimistic at resistance and then making people very bearish at support. So this is something that we're just waiting on you guys to maybe sell your Bitcoin down on these 190 or sorry 99 or 100,000, then it'll go up again. So just come on, guys, we're waiting for you.
Yeah, so I mean, should have bought like Trump and Fartcoin right up there. That's no, I don't know. When everybody's talking about it, you know, or when the farts are going around like crazy. But
yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is just normal behavior for Bitcoin, and it's getting right back down to support. I don't really think it needs to go lower than that 99,000 zone that it was at before. I don't think it's necessary. So just let people panic at support like they always do, and just it's probably going to stay in this range for some time until it's really ready to break out. So nothing really scary for me at all for what's going on. And with that said, we can go move to the others chart, the altcoins, if
oh
you're
yes,
ready, Kat.
please, yes, please.
So yeah, I do have again for this one as well. And this is the monthly chart here, just to show you guys from basically the beginning of this chart down in the 2014 zone that it basically has been going straight up, and it's now currently sitting at the blue level, and it's been there for a while, right? It used to be a resistance, and then it finally touched the 45-degree angle again after it tested as support back in 2016, and now it's actually trying to build a base really on top or near this blue level. So what was a previous big resistance zone is now trying to spend more months. In fact, there's already been like 3 months on top of it, because if you zoom in here, you can see clearly that 3 months are on top of it, and this one's just wicking below again, just like the other previous 2 months did as well. And guess what? This month just started. So it can go down a little bit further and scare people even more just to test this 45-degree angle. But it's running out of time to this intersection where the horizontal, the blue, and everything intersect. So it looks like just it's maybe a few months away before price really wants to go higher. And I did just recently share a chart on X about 15 minutes ago or something. And that was the others chart priced in Bitcoin. And when we go to this chart right
You can
here.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me zoom out here. And getting ready for launch is what I have written here. So let me just explain what I see. So from the low here to the top back in 2014, that was like a 700% gain. And then it went down and was like a little bit of a bear market until 2015 low. And then from that low to the high was a big 5,000 something percent. And that almost made it to the top level here of the green horizontal level. Almost made it there, not quite, right? Came a little bit short. And then what did price do after that? It went right back down to this blue horizontal level where it basically found ultimate support. It even back tested it once again back here. But then from this 2019 to the top, it's kind of identical. That's why they're the same color, right? The green and the green is basically identical from the bottom to the top, right? From here to here, it's about 700%. Here to here was like 700%. So this was an identical cycle, even though it's very extended compared to the 2014 top, right? Very extended, super extended. So after the top, what did it do? It came back down to about halfway between the green horizontal level and the blue level, just like this was kind of halfway between the bottom here and the orange horizontal level, right? This low here was kind of the same level between the Ganns. So now that we're here, it's looking like it's really trying to find a base on top of this arc here, ready to go higher. And this one recovered pretty quickly, so it was a quicker recovery. This one's kind of dragging out a little bit, but again, it's an extended cycle. And so if the greens are the same and the blues are the same, then the blue might go up to the next level here, which it almost reached the top of the green level here. This could reach almost the top of this level here. So that would be another 5,000%. I don't, like we were just talking earlier, we don't really think it's going to be diminishing returns maybe for the altcoins because they could really explode a lot higher. And if that's the case, then instead of a 3 million for others to Bitcoin, it could be 150 million from others to Bitcoin. So that's a huge increase for altcoins that nobody will expect. And if it happened,
Say
that would
that
just
number
blow
again.
150 million for others compared to a Bitcoin. And right now it's just at 3. It's just at 3. That is not fathomable for anybody, right? But if the greens are matching right here, then the blues have potential to match too, because they are kind of like in the identical places. And essentially this 2014 top was the orange horizontal level, and this was essentially the green horizontal level. So they're both at the same levels. Everything is matching so perfectly. So I think it is possible that we're in the beginning stages of, this is the low here and this is the low here. I don't think it's going to go lower, right? It can freak people out, but I don't think it's going to go lower. So I think this is basically in launch mode, right? This is going to be the beginning of something magical that nobody can imagine, I think.
Except for you, because you got like a vibrant imagination. And
Yeah, I mean,
you
you
like
can
to
imagine
stay
it too, though.
I can. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
seeing it, and you can certainly you can certainly stay overextended for a long time. Definitely more than 4 hours. Wait, never mind.
You don't need to go see a doctor.
Nah, nah, you're fine. You know, just yeah, it's a bull market. Just let it rip. Wait, no. But
But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, but essentially, others is still suppressed
yeah.
from the top here. So nothing has really even set off yet. So this is literally just the beginning, and this could be proof that maybe things are going to be a lot more extended, the cycle wise, for time. Right? It could go on for years
Mhm.
potentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And it's kind of dangerous too. Like I think some people don't really believe in extended cycle. They also thinking about, hey, Bitcoin halving. But to me, I think the reality is that it really goes more along with like IWM. It goes more with liquidity cycle than Bitcoin halving. To me, I think it's actually maybe a little bit more coincidental. And Bitcoin hasn't been around for that long, and people are just kind of looking at cycles like saying that it's because of halving, that's why price goes up. But I actually think that it might not be. It just happens to be very, very much sync with the liquidity cycle, which is why things are behaving the way they do. That's my 2 cents anyway. I have a couple others chart here too. I'm just gonna show real quick if you would like. This is the bull in Japan. It comes with a 20-month moving average. I generally like to look at the 20-month moving average because that really tells you like a very good idea about what the trend looks like. Whenever things break down underneath the 20-month moving average, usually is like raw time. It's really bad. Whenever things are staying above of it, it's good, right? Look at this cycle over here, broke down underneath the 20, trying to back test it, couldn't really get back above, and had a bearish back test, couldn't break through. Eventually able to break through, back test it, and then you have the bull market, right? The last cycle, same thing, broke underneath of it. It spent like a year and a half underneath of it. Was eventually able to break back through. Now during the whole time, the 20-month moving average was becoming more and more flat, right? It was the bull trend was exhausting. And you can see that, and it found a moment of vulnerability, broke down underneath of that, And then over here, as you have more price action here kind of going sideways, you can see that it's becoming more less negative sloping, it's becoming more flat, found a moment of vulnerability and broke through that, got back above, back testing it, right? Back testing things are bullish. Back testing a rising 20-minute range and finding support is bullish. And guess what? It bounced hugely to back to the upper Bollinger Band here, forming more or less a bull flag over here. None of this is bearish, by the way. The whole time here, I see two things. I see this whole trend line over here. If I just turn off the Bollinger Band, I see like this whole trend line over here getting back tested, right? Bounced hugely because of that. And I also see a very similar trend line over here as being back testing right now. You know, basically it's this point over here and this point over here. It's basically pushing through and is back testing it. There's really nothing scary about this. I even talk about one other thing here too, which is the left here is the other chart. The right side over here is Palantir. I have the Ichimoku cloud here being pulled up on the monthly. And you don't really quite have, the Ichimoku cloud being formed here in Palantir because it's still a relatively new stock. So the monthly cloud is just, not really mature. But you can see the red line and blue line. And what you're really seeing here might be a little bit distracting. So I'm just going to turn off the cloud here and kind of show you a little bit better picture. What you're seeing here is that whenever you have a blue line crossing above the red line, you have a bullish cross, right? And you're seeing this breaking, basically bullish cross happen, but because you just simply have a little bit way too far overextended here, you need to cool down. So it pushes through both the blue line and the red line, the Tenkan Kijun, or conversion and baseline, whatever you want to call it, came back down, tried to back test it, broke through it, got everybody all scared. But all it takes just one, November candle just break above both of these, right? You're reclaiming both of this, and you're having a little bit of a back test here. What happened here, Palantir didn't really break down underneath these, but basically it did backtest both the Tenkan Kijun, backtested both the conversion line and the baseline, had a big giant green candle, right? And next thing you know, they spent 3 months doing nothing sideways, got everybody like disinterested. But the entire time, all it's doing is just backtesting something that is just broke back above, right? We're basically doing the same thing here. This month is the third month. Let's say if it doesn't moon in February and get everybody all discouraged, because technically February is supposed to be a good month based on seasonality. If it doesn't end up doing that, I think everybody's going to be like super sad, super scared. It could come back and touch the Tenkan here again, just like how it did for Palantir. And then next thing you know, it just took everybody by surprise. Everybody's going to be like, oh, I'm going to take some profits off of altcoins. But the reality is just, technically speaking, it's doing what it needs to be doing. Big giant cup, big giant handle, trying to break through this, resistance zone over here. That's exactly what Palantir did. I'm not saying that it's going to work out the exact same, but I'm just saying there's a lot of similarities here. And if you just don't use any indicators, just look at the other chart. Like, does this look like a bearish chart to you? Does this whole thing look like a bearish chart to you? It doesn't. Like, I don't have anything else to. Well, one more thing. I'm going to talk about one more thing, which is Bitcoin dominance. Everybody, like all the Bitcoin maxis are out there saying, "Oh, you bought Ethereum. You bought XRP. XRP is a dinosaur coin. It's dead." Well, XRP just show you. We're going to talk a little bit about XRP here in a second. By that, I mean Matt's going to talk about XRP here in a second. But we got Bitcoin dominance here. There's a change in behavior. What has been different about the current price action, right? Is that most people are still focusing on Bitcoin dominance. They think Bitcoin dominance is just going to keep going up higher and higher. Well, there's a little bit of change of behavior now over the last few months compared to what it did before on the way up, right? What I mean by Bitcoin dominance is if Bitcoin dominance goes up, that means that Bitcoin outperforms all the other altcoins, right? Well, it's been outperforming all the other altcoins for about like 2 years now. But there's a little bit of change of behavior. What happened on the way up was that you have this big giant green candle over here, and then you have these kind of couple of red candles down below, right? Just basically it's kind of consolidating sideways here before it keeps on pushing up above, right? Same thing here, big giant green candle, couple of red candles over here, inside candles before further bullish continuation, right? You have a pattern change over here. What is changing? Well, first of all, you had a bearish engulfing candle back in November, right? And second, you have 3 inside candles over here, and you're not able to break through this red candle over here. What do we call this pattern? We call this the falling 3 pattern, right? So actually, this is the falling 3. Sorry, big giant red candle over here. 3 candles not really able to break above this candle, and next thing you know, you have basically the next candle usually is like plummeting, right? Before that, it was doing these like rising 3 where a big giant green candle, a couple of falling candles, and it just keeps on ripping, right? That's what That's what the Bitcoin dominance has been doing before, right? Over here, these are rising threes, if you will. Over here, it looks like it's going to be a falling three. That's what it looks like. There's a change of behavior even in the Bitcoin dominance chart. So just wanted to point that out. That's all, Matt. I'm going to pass it right back to you. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, man. Which I think I know what you're going to talk about. So go for
What, Trump coin?
it. Whatever, man. The floor is yours. Yeah.
No. All right. I'll show charts that I normally save for my Patreon, but I'll do it especially for you guys now because
Aw.
I love when I see people panic. I love helping people out. So
Aw.
here we go.
Matt.
I know.
Oh.
I'm so sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let me switch to my
take my screen off.
linear scale XRP. I don't really show this very often, the linear scale XRP, but it is magical. Very, very magical. And this green line, even though it doesn't look like a 45-degree angle, it is, right? When you scale it out, you can see it's 45. But essentially, the blue level last time was the top back in 2018. And then it just came down here, all these little angles here, and then shot up to the orange, got rejected. Here's the 45. Then essentially it just broke out back to the blue. Well, first of all, the arc, then it back tested the 45 where it was once a resistance, and then flipped it to support. So it's basically just in a range, right? Just stuck in between arcs here at the moment where 307 is really your resistance, and down here where it already wicked to like the low 260s is your support, which was a previous resistance right here back with these candles before it broke out in December. So it's just doing the normal thing, no panic at all. And when we go to the log scale chart, well, first before I show the log scale, I want to show you the fibs, the linear scale fibs from the all-time high to the low. And it's basically trying to maintain the 886, right? The 295, 186. And it has closed essentially the last weekly candle above it, right? It even closed a monthly candle above it yesterday, right? It closed above the 295, which is very, very nice. It was the highest monthly candle close ever in history for XRP, which is a very, very nice thing. Nothing really scary about a highest monthly candle close ever, right? And now it's the first of the month. So it just came back down to cause panic. And they often do this with crypto. It's the very first of the month. They can do whatever they want. They can send it lower because they have a whole month to recover it, to make the candle look bullish as heck. So let's look at the log scale chart here for XRP, and we'll zoom out, and we can see that also on log scale, it closed the month above this 886 as well. So this is doing just beautifully. It just can't break above this previous all-time high, right? That's it. It can't break above it, so it's just taking some time, and I think it's just a little bit extended. Like you can see, if you put on the Ichimoku, it did actually almost touch the conversion line, right, on the weekly chart. Let's go here. Weekly chart. Yeah, it did go almost touch it there, the 264.955, and it did get to 265. So it almost touched it, just missed it by a fraction. So that's bullish, right? It's a bullish back test of that. And was that a monthly Katana cat that I saw? Was it at one
There
point?
is. Yeah, there is still. It's still
Yeah.
working. It's still playing out right now.
Yeah, down here it's still playing out and still kind of extended from the conversion and baseline too. So there's that. And now I want to show you the 4-hour XRP that I show on my tier 4 Patreon all the time. And it's been perfect for support and resistance. And it's just amazing. I update them every day on this. And this is obvious resistance up here. And this arc and the blue level is obvious support, right? And you can see it's obvious support. Why? Because it was obvious resistance back on December 3rd, 2024. Breakout, back test, big liquidity grab, and now it's back there again. So this is not a panic zone. This is a very good zone. It's an opportunity to accumulate. This is accumulation zone. This is nothing to fear. But every time it got up near the arc here, that was a place to be cautious, right? And I was suspecting that it probably wasn't ready to break out yet, so that's why it broke down. And yeah, 290 down to maybe 286, maybe even down to low 280s or whatever it wants to do. This zone, it looks beautiful for just cooling off, and I think it has potential now to just continue to build a base in the support zone and go higher. I don't think it really needs to go down there because it basically touched the weekly conversion line already. So we don't really need to retest that zone. So I think it's ready to just build a base in this zone and eventually go higher. So XRP doesn't look bad. It's still one of the most bullish charts in all of crypto. And don't you agree, Kat?
I think it's a wonderful dinosaur coin. No, I'm just yeah.
But don't you think it's one of the
I
most bullish charts in all of crypto? I think
it is. I mean, it looks
yeah.
like it's in the cups of closing at all-time highs. The one thing though, going back to on lock scale, going back to the monthly chart, if you will, there's only one concern that I show on XRP.
Do you want to share your screen or?
Sure, yeah, I guess I can. Yeah. Dang, I missed the days when I just tell you what to do.
Tell me what to do. No.
But now you got so efficient at it. Like only when you're like spacing out when we're talking, that's when you don't. But
yeah, that's
the the only thing that I'm concerned, and the market makers can do whatever they can to scare you, because $3 XRP is really bearish, right? A lot of people get scared if it ends up doing something diabolical, like it breaks down your 4-hour chart and just comes back down and grab liquidity and touch the upper Bollinger Band here, God forbid, so it doesn't stay way too far overextended. That would get a lot of people really bearish. And the upper Bollinger Band right now is around 2.5, somewhere around there. And it can change based on the price. Like if the candle is lower, then it's going to be a little lower. If the candle is higher, it's going to be a little bit higher. But yeah, can you imagine a scenario where market makers just decide they want to touch the monthly Bollinger Band?
Well, that's still 260. That's basically
Yeah.
what they did a few days ago.
Exactly. So I just want to bring out this possibility. If they end up crushing it, it would get a lot of people really bearish, and that'd be like a 250 or 260 XRP. And considering the long way they came from like 50 cents, it's just how crazy, like how human psychology works. I can see that happening. I don't guarantee that it's going to happen, but if it does, it would still be logical. It would still be a bullish chart. I just wanted to show that. That's all.
Well, they did that with Palantir last month too.
They did.
They wicked it really deep through the upper Bollinger Band. Yeah.
Yeah, they wicked it. Whatever you call it, basically got everybody all scared, and that was the entire possibility. I was saying, look, you got a candle that's way outside the upper Bollinger Band here. I think next month we're going to end up coming back and touch it, at least have a wick touching it, and it did. It went all the way down to the 60s, and again, price closed high, right? But back then, the upper Bollinger Band was maybe around like 64, 65 or something like that. The way the candle closed actually make it like it went down further, but it actually was just down here. So it did exactly that, falling gravity, just to show you, hey, look, we're not too overextended. Tech, and that's kind of what Palantir did. I mean, Tesla did the same thing. I know we're not talking about that, but like it basically just did the same thing. And that's what I think XRP might do, just because it did look a little bit, overextended here on a Bollinger Band. I generally don't like to buy things that are like way outside the upper Bollinger Band. With the exception, if you were bought here, then I would have been wrong, but yeah, I mean, like in general, I think it's a little bit overextended. Is that resistance? I don't like to do that. I mean, this is the market cap, but anyway, it's the same thing. So yeah, just wanted to kind of give a little bit of warning sign in case of XRP.
But that would just probably be a really fast liquidity grab anyways.
Exactly.
Again.
Exactly.
So it wouldn't be anything.
Yeah, I just wanted to show that. That's all.
Yeah, either way, that would be super bullish, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk about Ethereum?
Let's see. Do I have anything interesting on Ethereum here?
Not really. It looks just like the artist chart. I mean, like I don't have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, essentially on my chart, the monthly close yesterday was almost like a doji candle. And what we see now, it's coming back down at the beginning of the month to retest support again in the 3,100, maybe wick below. So it's doing what it normally does, right? Causes panic.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it does all the time. But no, this chart on the monthly basis here, it doesn't look bad, right? And I'm watching this fib extension, the 1.272, and remind you that is from the 2018 high to the low in 2018 of December. So that is a perfect fib to watch, 3,095, because it has been building a base on top ever since it broke out back in November. So this is looking fine, right? I think it's just lagging. That's all.
Yeah, it's usually lagging at this stage too. I don't think it's doing anything unusual. Matter of fact, I think it's kind of already at like higher FIB levels than it was last cycle, when Bitcoin just consolidates. So I'm not worried about Ethereum. So yeah, for those people who are asking for like chart requests, we just wanted to come on and talk about crypto here real quick. I think I'm going to do a live stream later. I'm going to talk about GME, maybe some other requests too from our members. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Doge as well. We don't have to go through all the coins, but I think we just wanted to kind of share our perspective, talk about like the major things here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I shared with Doge last time on our triumvirate show. Did I show this?
I don't remember, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, the biggest thing for Doge that I want to show everybody is if you do a fib extension from the 2019 high to the March COVID low, the full extension on log scale is 41 cents, guys. And this is a real big battle. You can see it was the market top back in 2021, and it's still a big battle. So I think if you're looking for a number that a Doge needs to start closing weekly and monthly candles above, it's basically 42 cents. And once it does that, then it's going to fly. Until then, it's just stuck, right? It's just stuck, stuck, stuck.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's basically forming a bull flag and trying to find some support underneath. There's really nothing wrong with Doge except for the impatience that people show. So please sell so it can go up.
Yeah.
That's honestly the lesson when it comes to Doge. I mean, it's still stuck between. Yeah, if you want me to show mine real quick, it's. I also have a Gann here. I think it's got some pretty decent market symmetry. Yeah, it's got some pretty decent market symmetry here on the log scale. Basically, it's doing the same thing. Like I actually see the current price action is like at the same spot over here. It's stuck inside an arc over here, kind of like it did over here. It's also stuck underneath an angle, which is the same exact angle that it did the last time. You know. So if you ask me, after it formed higher highs and higher lows, and after it formed a higher high, it's trying to find a higher low here, should I be scared about Doge? No. I mean, I don't look at like basically how it's still respecting the arc here, right? Now, if I don't even do the arc, I don't care. I can even delete this and I can draw it later. It doesn't really matter. But if I just do like a fib level here from the cycle high and cycle low, you can see how it got rejected here at 0.76, and it perfectly bounced out to 0.618, right? It's stuck between these two. It got rejected at 0.786 again recently. Do I have to think they come back to like the 0.618 again? Not necessarily. I don't think it has to do that again. It already did this thing, right? What happened last cycle? Same thing. If you just draw from like the cycle high, cycle low, it got rejected here at 0.786 and touches 0.618. It's just a lot quicker last cycle. And then whenever it decided to do its thing, it just pushed through like crazy. Like there's really nothing unusual. Last cycle went all the way up to like the 2.272. I don't think the cycle is going to do that. If it does that, it's going to do it very, very slowly. I don't think it's just going to like rip like it did last time. And also, if you also look at the monthly Ichimoku, I might have to turn. Yeah, you look at monthly Ichimoku, it just simply also got rejected here at the top of the Ichimoku cloud over here. And it's finding support here at the baseline and conversion line, just stuck in range, waiting to break out. So nothing scary about Doge. I think the only thing that's scary about Doge is the impatience that are out there. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Doge.
Yeah, nice. I see that question about like a narrative would push ETH higher. I mean, I don't think there's any narrative specifically, but just possibly more liquidity back into everything, right? Which would be continued lower rates and more money printing, really.
Yeah, there are two narratives. One is Solana would eventually have a network down. It does that, and then like whenever people want to dump Solana, they talk about how scary it is for Solana to be like an unreliable network. That's thing number one. Thing number two is there's always going to be a narrative that comes. Like you think that Ethereum pump with last cycle with like all the NFTs, you think that's a coincidence? No. Does NFT improve the world? No, not necessarily. So I don't. Well, eventually they might. Like non-fungible token is a thing, but like, do you think like Bored Apes really improve the world? Yeah, I mean that's arguable. So, so I don't know what narratives you have to have. Like I don't think even people even know the utility of not just Ethereum, but the utility of I would argue the utility for Solana, the utility for XRP, the utility for like all the L1s out there too. I don't think people really like. It's just been like scratched to the surface. I don't think people actually know what crypto can do, and it can do a lot. But yeah, we haven't found out yet. So
Well, I personally think that the narrative of going higher is the disappointment of Trump being president. The market's not going up. That's the narrative. I think that's going to be it. People are going to be like, "Oh, Trump's president and nothing's happening. I give up." Right? That's going to be the narrative, I think. And then once everybody gives up, then things are going to go skyrocket.
yeah, that's pretty much what happens every single time. I mean,
Yeah.
there's really. Oh, it plummeted. I thought it was at least trying to form a base or something. Ooh, that Trump coin. Okay, that's not cool. All right. Yeah.
I got an interesting Trump 4-hour here for people to look
Go
at.
for it.
It's
Ooh,
it's that
nice.
support. Yeah.
Oh, oh
Yeah,
wow.
just a beautiful rejection up here, blue level, back to the orange level, got support, rejected, lost support, came here, found support, got rejected, came down to find support. So I think yeah, if you're a gambling person, it could be support here, or maybe wait till the blue angle here in the 16s. I don't know, but it has potential here. It does. I wouldn't give up on it just yet. Right. It's
Yeah, I mean,
interesting.
that's a really crazy chart though. Like that's a falling knife right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
it's scary. Yeah, super scary.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to before we wrap things up too, I wanted to show like the total 3 chart that I have here. Here it is. Yeah. That this is the weekly chart, right? A previous resistance is flipping to support, right? This is one of the most bullish things. And total 3, if you don't know, it's not including Bitcoin or Ethereum. So it's just the rest of the altcoins, includes XRP and everything else. And yeah, it's building a base to go higher. And if this if it goes to the next level, what does that mean for total 3? Well, it could mean a 90 or 80 trillion market cap at the next level. Just to put things in perspective here, to see the potential that we don't even know because our little brains can't wrap around this potential. We've never experienced something like this before. So it's hard to believe it. It's like when you're in the 1990s thinking you can have, a phone and a camera in one device. Like nobody knew that back then, right?
I don't know. I was too busy looking at pictures of Anna Nicole Smith. So
That's probably true. Yeah.
wait, who's that now? Sorry. Wait, what? Who? Sorry. Never mind. But the internet's like it like just like it does maybe like crypto, it does more than NFTs, right? Just like the internet maybe is more important than just trying to dial up and trying to look up Pamela Anderson. I mean, that's it's we don't
Yeah.
we don't realize the potential yet. I guess is what I'm trying to say, But anyway, it's possible.
And I think the inflation narratives out there, like, oh, egg prices aren't going down, gas prices are going up under Trump. Like, people don't really understand how deflationary AI and technology can be to reduce prices of everything out there. So I don't think we have to worry about inflation anymore. I think it's just the beginning, like Raoul Pal says, the exponential age. That things are just going to go crazy, I think, and this could last a lot longer than people think, too.
Yeah. Do you think the tariffs is gonna make inflation great again, though? Or
I think it's just a bargaining tool. I don't even
yeah,
think it's going to last long, if at all. Like, yeah, they're going to be implemented today, I guess,
yeah,
essentially. But essentially, I don't think it matters because people the incentive to start to produce things, build things in America is going to be there again, and I think perhaps companies will start to do that, and then everybody will forget about those tariffs.
yeah. But I don't like the fact that I have to pay more for maple syrup. So that's not
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, do you eat maple syrup?
Well, I mean, cats don't really taste sweet, so probably not. But Danny probably wouldn't be happy. I mean,
he gets his Canadian maple syrup imported all the way to Hong Kong. Yeah.
yeah, because I'm sure, like like back. Anyway, I can go on forever. Like how the Cantonese have like invaded Vancouver and Toronto. But yeah, anyway, that's a different story for a different time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we just want to come on to talk. I think we talked Bitcoin back up, so that's good that we did that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think in regards to like the semis and stuff like that, I know we're not really talking stocks. I think they don't really have that much. I think they're not ready to go higher just yet. Right. I think there's going to be more scares coming next week, especially it's the beginning of the month. So just don't be too bullish at the beginning of the month here because they're probably going to send things down to test support over and over again before going higher. And that includes crypto too, not just tech.
Yeah, I think that we're kind of looking at the chart. It was like, yeah, there's some technical damage that's been done to the semi stock. So be a little bit cautious, don't over leverage, and not financial advice or to go wild, over leverage. Do do what you
Yeah.
do what you do best. But I just think like maybe it's just they're gonna probably gonna flush things a little bit more based on kind of what we're seeing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, Tracker's in the chat. Hey, Tracker.
Yeah, I know you love the maple syrup. That's semiconductors and energy rotate, and yeah, I think it's just they're just going through their shenanigans.
I don't
Um,
think anything's really going to go up next week, personally. Right.
yeah,
This is my feeling because things got rejected pretty hard on Friday, right? And when things get rejected, they're going to go back down and retest support. And that includes probably Tesla too, going to go back down and test support. So don't be overly bullish, at least the first week of February.
yeah, except bullish on Taiwanese sausages.
Taiwanese sausages.
Per Vivian.
Oh, I do love Taiwanese sausages. I used to eat those all the time in
They're
Changsha.
good.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
very good.
They're
Yeah,
super,
they
and
got
they're a little sweet too. It's like
yes, they are. They're the perfect savory thing. They're yeah,
savory and
yeah.
sweet. Yeah. Well, is that it? It was a nice 46 minutes of
I think so.
jib jabbing. Yeah, we can talk about food. Should we go to our food channel next and just start talking about food?
I think we're good once we start talking about sausages and how Danny likes maple syrup. I think we're good.
Yeah, we need some Danny influence of our what's that dim sum too. I need some of that.
Yes, he's sleeping right now, and
Yeah.
he's not gonna listen to this because we're talking about crypto. So that's good. All right, man. Always
All
fun
right.
time.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, guys, panic. Okay, so it goes up higher.
Yeah, the sooner you sell out there, then the rally will start. Okay, Jesus. We're just waiting on you. You to sell.
Yes,
Take one for the team. Okay, take one for the team.
yes, and I'm glad to cause Tracker FOMO as well today. That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
Until next time.
Yes. Take care, guys.
Yep. Take care.
Bye.